So friends, I want you to give the answer to this particular question. So let's say there is an opening for a data analyst profile in a company and they have shortlisted two different candidates to the same job role. Now out of those two candidates, you are one of the candidates. Into the round one, that would be completely on Microsoft Excel. So they would be giving 10 questions each to both the candidates. Let's say you are solving the same 10 questions in around 10 minutes and the other candidate he has solved the same questions in around 15 minutes, and we would consider the concepts and the formulas which you have used and the other candidate has used is approximately the same. Now what do you think, who would be selected? So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we'll be discussing some of the interesting Excel keyboard shortcuts that would definitely increase your productivity, and if you show these skills into the interviews, that can definitely give an edge to you. So moving on, so there are a lot of different kind of Excel shortcuts you would be finding on the internet, around 100 of them, 200 of them, 300 of them. Now because of this, many people get frightened to learn these shortcuts. Actually you don't need to learn this. When you are practicing it to various data sets, this comes with practice. So for me also, I have definitely not learned it while I was working and during my internship period, or while I was practicing the questions and the problems from a data set, Excel data set. So during that period I was using all these keyboard shortcuts, and definitely I found that अगर मैं किसी भी एक task को अगर 10 मिनट में कर रहा हूँ, so using these shortcuts I would have done all those tasks in just 6-7 minutes. So that was the amount of productivity which these kind of shortcuts they provide. So into this video we'll be looking onto some of the main Excel keyboard shortcuts which will definitely help you in your analysis. So let's move to my screen and let's get a glance of all those keyboard shortcuts. So इस टेबल में let's say मुझे filter apply करना है. So what would be the traditional way? I mean the simple way. So that would be I will just go to this sort and filter and I would click on this filter button और यहाँ पे ये apply हो गया. What would be the keyboard shortcut way? So you would need to click on the control plus shift plus L. So I would do a simple control plus shift plus L. So you can see the filter has vanished, but if I want to bring the filter again, I would just do again control plus shift plus L. So you can see the filter has come out again. जब कि हमने यहाँ पे फिल्टर अप्लाई कर दिया, अब मुझे अगर फिल्टर किसी को अप्लाई या रिमूव करना है, सो व्हाट वुड आई डू? आई वुड क्लिक थ्रू दिस माउस हियर एंड आई वुड नेविगेट हियर. व्हाट इफ वी कैन अप्लाई ए कीबोर्ड शॉर्टकट हियर टू डू दिस? लेट्स सी. सो आई वुड गो टू द वेरी फर्स्ट रो हियर. सबसे पहला रो में मैं जाऊंगा और वहाँ पे जाके आई वुड डू Alt plus down. आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो. सो इट हैड ओपन द फिल्टर ऑप्शंस हियर. नाउ अगर लेट से मुझे किसी भी एक पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन को सिलेक्ट करना है, सारा ऑप्शंस को यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट नहीं करना है, सो आई वुड नेविगेट थ्रू द माउस एंड दिस इज अ वेरी मच longer time taking task. What if I do this easily through a simple keyboard shortcut? A keyboard shortcut to do this is, so I would again click onto the Alt plus down button and I would click now onto the space bar and the down button. और लेट से मुझे किसी भी ऑप्शन को अनसेलेक्ट करना है, सो आई वुड क्लिक ऑन टू द स्पेस बार एंड यू कैन सी द ऑप्शन हैज़ बीन अनसेलेक्टेड. सिमिलरली मुझे किसी ऑप्शन को अनसेलेक्ट करके सिलेक्ट करना है, सो आई वुड नेविगेट do this using the space bar and I would navigate through the up and the down key arrow button here. So I've been using these three shortcuts a lot of many times. So if you are enjoying and find this very much interesting, do like this video and support me. Moving on to the next keyboard shortcut, and that is using the replace and the find option. So to find something, let's say I have a word, मेरे पास एक word है और मुझे find करना है शीट में कि किन किन जगहों में वो word मौजूद है या फिर किस पर्टिकुलर सेल में वो word मौजूद है, और अगर इस शीट में वो word है भी कि नहीं है. So I would just do a simple control F or I would write like I need to find what. So let's say I need to find a student whose name is Prakash. I would just write here Prakash and I would click on this find next, and you can see the mouse is navigating into all those rows जहाँ पे ये word मौजूद है. So on to the next keyboard shortcut, and that is Control H, that is find and replace. So let's say I want to replace a certain word with a different word. Just consider a condition: a particular student name has a wrong spelling. So how do we do that? So student name here, it is Praveen. Instead, let's say his name was Pravin. So how do we change into the entire sheet? जितने भी जगह में वो word मौजूद है, सारे जगहों में Vin it would be replaced. So how do we do that? Using the Control H function. So here it is telling to find what? We need to find the word Praveen, and with what do we need to replace it? So I need to replace it with the correct word or the new word. So I would do here replace also. If I will click on the replace all button, जितने भी जगहों में शीट में ये वर्ड मौजूद है सारे जगहों में रिप्लेस हो जाएगा with the newer word. And if I don't want to do that, instead I want to change it at a certain position or a certain cell, I would click on to the find next option or the replace option. So I would click on to the replace all, or you can see we'll be getting this message that all done, we made 2 replacements. So this way we could replace the word. Moving on to the next section, and that is inserting a hyperlink to a word. Just assume that this was the student first name, and with the student first name I want to insert their LinkedIn ID. So how do we do that? So I would take an example using my name. So I would just write here my name here, and I would like to insert a hyperlink. So for that I will do Ctrl+K. I would get this window here, और यहाँ पे address में I would write the link. अगर कोई पर्सन मेरे नाम पे क्लिक करता है तो that would redirect to that particular link here. So I would like to add my LinkedIn profile link here. So by this way you can add the hyperlink to any text. Moving on to the next keyboard shortcut, and that is inserting a row and deleting a row. So let's say I want to delete this email column. So what is the keyboard shortcut way, or what is the traditional way? So I would just do a simple right click on the mouse and I would delete, and the row would get, or the column would get deleted. Similarly you can do it for a row also. So I would delete the 4th number row. I would click on the entire row and I would click on to the delete function, and you can see the row has been deleted. Now what was the keyboard shortcut to this? I want to get something which has been deleted earlier, I want to get it back. So we can undo it. So you using the Control Z option. So I would do Control Z 2 times. So you can see I have got both the rows and the columns जो कि delete हुआ था. Now what is the shortcut to delete a row and a column? So the shortcut is Control and minus. So you can see the row has been deleted using Control and minus. Now what is the shortcut to add a row? So the shortcut to add a row and a column would be, so the shortcut is Control plus Shift plus plus. So I would do a Control plus Shift plus plus, and you can see a column has been added. So I would do it somewhere here. So I would do Control plus Shift plus plus. So you can see कॉलम एक ऐड हो चुका है. सिमिलरली आप एक रो भी ऐड कर सकते हो इसी तरीके से between any 2 different rows or any 2 different columns. So you can do the same operation for row also and column also. Moving on to the next shortcut, and that is if you want to select the entire row. So the shortcut is Shift plus space. I would click Shift and space here, and you can see the entire row has been selected. So I would do it at any row. So I would click on to the Shift and the space bar, and you can see the entire row has been selected. Similarly operation you can do onto any of the column also. You can click the Control and the space bar, and you can see the entire column has been selected. So these are the shortcuts for selecting a row, the entire row and the entire column. बढ़ते हैं दूसरे shortcuts की तरफ, and that is navigating between the rows and the columns. So you can use the Control plus down, left, right and the up buttons to navigate between the rows and the columns. So I would click here Control and I would click down. So you can see the pointer tha that has navigated to the very last row which is present into that column. So let's say I would add another entry here, any random entry here. and I would do a control plus down. So आप देखोगे कि it would navigate to the very last option which is present into that particular column. So I would click control plus down here. देख सकते हो कि this time it navigated to the very last option which is present into that particular column. Now what if I want to select the entire entry, entire row, entire column? So for that I would do a control plus shift plus down और सारा एंट्री सिलेक्ट हो जाएगा और यहाँ से मैं इस डेटा को कहीं भी जाके लेट से मुझे कॉपी पेस्ट करना है. सो आई वुड डू कंट्रोल सी एंड आई वुड जहाँ भी मुझे पेस्ट करना है आई वुड डू कंट्रोल वी. सो आप देख सकते हो जितना भी डेटा सिलेक्ट हुआ था दैट हैज़ बीन पेस्टेड. नाउ इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉपिंग आई वॉन्ट टू कट इट, आई वॉन्ट टू रिमूव द एंटायर कंटेंट. सो let's say I want to do it from the 6th number row. So I would do control plus shift plus down. तो जहाँ तक लास्ट रो होगा वहीं तक पूरा डेटा सिलेक्ट होगा एंड देन आई वुड क्लिक ऑन टू द कंट्रोल एक्स और कहीं भी अगर मुझे पेस्ट करना है वो डू कंट्रोल वी. सो आप देख सकते हो कि वहाँ पे डेटा था वहाँ से हट चुका है. इट हैज़ बीन पेस्टेड इनटू द फ्रेश और द न्यू प्लेस. आई वुड डू कंट्रोल जेड हियर. कैन डू into the right, left and the up part also. So फर्ज करते हैं मुझे राइट मोस्ट साइड जाना है किसी भी रो में. सो आई वुड जस्ट ऐड एनी रैंडम एंट्री. इस सेल से लेके मुझे राइट मोस्ट सेल में जाना है. सो आई वुड डू कंट्रोल प्लस शिफ्ट प्लस द राइट मोस्ट एरो. सो यू कैन सी द एंटायर रो हैज़ बीन सिलेक्टेड टिल द लास्ट कॉलम जिसमें कंटेंट मौजूद है. सिमिलरली आई वुड डू इट फॉर द नेक्स्ट रो एंड the entire or the row would be selected till the very last column जिसमें एक entry है. So I would do control plus shift plus the right arrow and you can see it is selecting the entire row here. What if एक किसी बीच वाले कॉलम में कुछ भी मौजूद नहीं है, so कहाँ तक ये select करता है? So let us also check that. So I would do a control plus shift plus right and you can see अगर कहीं भी किसी भी सेल में कोई भी एंट्री मौजूद नहीं है, so उससे पहले जितने भी सेल्स में एंट्रीज मौजूद हैं वो सेलेक्ट कर लेगा. नाउ इफ यू वांट टू सेलेक्ट दैट पर्टिकुलर सेल आल्सो, सो फॉर दैट यू वुड डू अ शिफ्ट एंड द राइट मोस्ट एरो. सो आई वुड डू अ शिफ्ट एंड राइट मोस्ट एरो और इसी तरीके से आप सेलेक्ट कर सकते हो. और लेट्स से आई वांट टू सेलेक्ट द नेक्स्ट रो आल्सो, सो आई वुड डू अ शिफ्ट एंड डाउन. सो एक एक सेलेक्ट ऐसे होते रहेगा. उसी तरीके से इफ आई वांट टू रिमूव अ कॉलम from the rightmost side, so I would do a shift and the leftmost arrow. So you can see the selected range is decreasing to the very last keyboard shortcut and this is also very much useful. I also use this a lot of many times. So मेरे किसी भी एक सेल में एक फार्मूला मौजूद है, मैं यहाँ पे जस्ट एक सिंपल फार्मूला लिखना चाहूँगा. ये कोई फार्मूला ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. आई वुड जस्ट subtract the age with 10. I want to get the answer. So if I want to get it for the entire column, this answer by applying the formula, what would I do? I would click on this plus button. I would drag it to the very last, जो कि बहुत सही है. अब इसको हम अपने कीबोर्ड की सहायता से कैसे कर सकते हैं, एक कीबोर्ड शॉर्टकट के उपयोग करके. So I would write the same formula again onto the age. I would subtract it with 10 और यहाँ पे मैं क्या करूँगा, I would go to the next column. I would do a control plus shift plus down जो कि हमने पहले सीखा and then I would do a control plus down and I would navigate to the next column and then I would again do a control plus shift plus up that till the very first cell जहाँ पे अगर इसको एक वैल्यू मिलता है the entire cell would get selected. Now to paste the entire formula to the entire column I would do a simple control plus D, control plus down and you can see the entire formula has been pasted. You can match the results in both the columns, they are exactly the same. So I hope you have liked this particular video. These kind of Excel shortcuts will definitely give you an edge into the interviews because interviewer might get impressed with your additional skills. Friends, if you had found this video helpful, please like this video and show your support and definitely subscribe to my channel to receive such kind of useful content on a daily basis. Do also check out my Microsoft Excel playlist if you haven't yet. So meet you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.